Okay, so guys, we've my simplest example that I'm going to give you to graph a parabola is going to be y equals to x squared. And when we have an equation like this, we need to first of all, what I'll do first is um, do a table of values. Okay, so a table of values will look something like this. When you have x and y values, and each value here each combination value here is actually a coordinate in our graph. So what I'm going to do is, usually I like to start with 0, and I like to put 0 in the middle. So let's put 0 right there, and that's probably not the middle, let's add another box. And the way we do this is, when x equals to 0, what's y? So we need to actually substitute in, so sub x is equal to 0 into y equals x squared to find the y value. So we go y is equal to, x is now 0, so 0 squared is 0. So we can now put 0 into our y value. And we did the same thing to our next value. So we go 1, 2, and 3, -1, -2, and -3. And we have to find the values of y values when x is equal to 1, 2, and 3, or when x is equal to -1, -2, -3. So let's do that. We don't have to do all of them, because usually you can form a pattern, and we can just add those numbers once you see the pattern. So let's do so y is equal to 1 squared sub three, x is equal to 3, y will be 3 squared, which will be 9. Okay, and we can do the same thing on the other side of the x-axis. So if I'm going to draw this, so let's draw this. Okay, I'm going to try to draw it as accurately as I can. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's -1, 1, 1, 2, 2, -2, and so on. Okay. So let's do the same. Let's find the values of the y-axis when x is negative numbers. Okay. We probably know what they are, because when we already done what's 1 squared, and if you do -1 squared, it's gonna give you 1, 4, and 9. Okay, because if you square negatives, it will be positive, and we're gonna have the same answers. And we can actually try it to see if that's the case. So let's do sub x is equal to -2, and you'll actually see that will equal to the same answer. Okay, so y is equal to 4. So one thing you need to know when we have a table of values is that each combination that you have, let's use 2 and 4 combination, that's actually a coordinate on our graph. Okay, so what I mean by that, let's actually put that into our graph, and you'll see what I mean. So we have a 2 and a 4 coordinate. So x is, so we have to first get the x value. So x value is 2, and then we find that we actually get that on the x-axis, and then we just go up. Once we hit 4, okay, that's going to be our coordinate there, and we can actually put a value there, 2 and 4 coordinate. All right, it's good that you actually put the coordinates on the dots on your graph, for working out purposes. Okay. Let's have a look at the other combination. So we got 1 1. So that's 1 1 is going to be roughly here. Okay. So just go 1 1. Let's go negative 1 1. Okay. And let's do negative 2 and 4. So that's negative 2 and 4. So roughly around here. Okay. And the last one is going to be 3 and 9. I'm assuming that's going to be really high somewhere because I don't have room to go up to 9, but it's going to be really high. So we're just going to use these coordinates that we have, and also we have a 0 0 intersection point there. Okay. And if I'm going to draw this, I'm just have to line up my dots roughly. Okay. So I'm going to have a curve that's going to go something like that. Okay. Obviously, that's going to go up and hit other intersection points and coordinates, sorry, hit other coordinates. So we have a graph like this, and that's how we actually graph our parabola manually. Okay, so when I say manually, by finding coordinates, by putting table of values and drawing it. Okay, so the structure here, or the sequences that we follow, we do a table of values, and each combination here is the coordinate. We place them on the graph, and we just line up the dots, and then you'll actually form your graph, a parabola graph. All right, so that's what pretty much, in the simplest form, that's how you actually draw your graph itself. Obviously, the accurate you do it, the better your graph's going to be, and it's just going to look more neat. And if you have a graph paper, I recommend to use a graph paper. If not, that's fine. You can use Excel to see how your graph looks like. And also, if you have a graphics calculator, that will help you out as well. Okay.